Today I will teach you guys how to make your very own bulb lasagna, and I am so excited because I have gotten a little bit overboard. This is just some of the packs of bulbs. I think I have 7 or 8 more down there in the back, which we will get to. It is genuinely getting so cold. We are in the middle of November, so I have grabbed the coffee, put on a coat, and we are now ready to plant the bulbs, and I'll show you how you can do that. So the first thing you're gonna need is, of course, some bulbs. And the fantastic thing about bulbs is that you can get them ranging so that they start, the earliest ones will start blooming in February, and then it goes on all the way to May, maybe even June if you're lucky with some of them. So I have found a wide array of bulbs, and I just want to show you. I have these really beautiful dwarf daffodils, and I just think it is such a classic, and these ones will bloom from February to April. So what I'm going to do is that as I'm showing you, I will put them in different piles so that I know what blooms when, because when it comes to organizing what we put in our bulb lasagna, we want to make sure that each pot is alive for as long as possible. So that means we want a mix of things that starts really, really early to things that will bloom quite late, because there's nothing worse than a pot that is just standing there looking tired and empty. Now, one thing I can't do this side of the year is, if it was perfect, I would have had, you know, the colorful purplish kale. I would have planted that out mid-late summer so that it would be ready to have beautiful golden and colorful leaves throughout winter, and that would cover the soil top. So because most of these bulbs will come year after year, they're perennials. So therefore, when it comes to next year, I might experiment with putting leaves, kale to grow on top so that they look really good for next winter. But one thing at a time. This year we'll get the bulbs going. So the first one with the dwarf daffodils, and I will say there's probably lots of YouTube videos and research you could do online on different color combinations and like recommended flowers, but I really just believe in go for what appeals to you, and don't be scared of mixing them. I generally really like purple colors in the garden. I like things that are a bit mysterious and a bit Victorian. Reds are always really, really good. Put in some white as well, it just creates nice canvas. And I'll also say get different shapes and sizes. So you want something that's low, right, and covers the foliage part, and then you want something high and tall to give it vertical interest. So think about that as well when you do your combination. So we have a classic scarlet baby tulip. I really like these ones. I love the yellow in the middle. Then we have the allium Miami, and they will get us a bit of height, so that's really nice. So the allium is May to June, so we got to keep track, and this is March, April. So far I have 3 piles. I have the February to March, then I have February to April, and then this one is the summer one, right? So 3. And then I have these beautiful, I also think this is a classic, the crocus, and the crocus is an early one. So March, February, March, so that goes in the early pile. And then we're getting to some of the tulips, and these are, I'm not even gonna attempt the name, but they are just so beautiful. They're a little bit more expensive, but I also think sometimes you get what you pay for. But honestly, you might pay for really expensive bulbs, and yes, they might be really lovely, but sometimes just, you know, trial and error. So these ones are March, April, so kind of a mid-spring. We have these ones. Oh, I love the deep, beautiful, gorgeous red tulips. So these ones are lily flowering merlet. I think they also remind me a little bit of red wine, and I do like that rich color when I'm looking out of the window. So definitely some of these are going to go in. So that's in April, May as well. So there's quite a lot in that mid-season. So that's why you really got to look out so that you can extend. Now this is another one, and I just fell in love with the beautiful yellow crocus, and this is a March, April. So again, mid-season, everything will go wild. And the last one is Mount Tacoma, and Mount Tacoma is again one of those April-May ones. So I have one really late one. I feel like I really shot myself in the foot. I thought I had one that was later, but that's okay. We'll work it out. And then a couple of really early ones, and then it will work itself out. So that's really, really good. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 packs in total. I counted 8 packs, and then this was I found 2 more. I knew there were some bulbs for later. So this one is Alum Roseum, and this is in May, June. So I'm really happy that I found that. And we have this one, which is just, they're so fragile, and they're little bellflowers, and they are also April, May, so slightly later. So we have 3 packs for later. We have 11 packs in total. Really? Okay, so what you can see here is that I have laid them out based on when they will bloom. And then the way I'll mix these is that these ones are the early bloomers, have 2 bags. So that has to go across all 3. Also, they're quite low foliage, which is really good. This is my March till April ones, and these ones are April till May. So I paired them, so I say these 2 go in one pot because this one is tall and this one is foliage. And then we take these 2, again, a foliage and a tall that will overlap. And then this is like the little dainty, cute bellflower one, and that will go really well with this one. So I've decided that that's how I'm going to mix it across my 3 pots. And then I have these ones, which is the late bloomers, and they go from May to June, and I will just take them across all pots as well. So there's no kind of rules with the color combination. Some people would be way more rigorous than I am, but I think this will just be really, really beautiful. So that's how it's going to be. So in terms of the pot, you do want something that has some depth, because obviously we're going to put everything in layers. And I reckon in this one, I'm really hoping I can have 3 layers. So you want to have a bottom layer where you can just have water draining down and root systems. But also when it comes to how closely you are placing them, what you really want to look at is the size of the bulb, and you sort of want 1 bulb in between each of the bulb to allow for enough space. And you think, oh, that's a lot of bulb in 1 pot, and that's true, but they're such clever little ones. They will just wiggle their way through each other, and it's really incredible. They're so sturdy, and they just will get through. One rule of thumb when you're planting down your bulbs is to have the biggest ones in the bottom, and then kind of layer all the way upwards. So you can kind of guess and see the deeper it is, the more you can put in. And the reason why you want the bigger bulbs in the bottom is that if you're looking at the bulb size, you want to go down in the soil about 4 times the bulb size. So these ones will be very much surface like lead, and when we have the big chunky fellas, they will go in the bottom because there's obviously 4 times that bulb goes way deeper. So that's how you figure out what you lay first, not so much about when it blooms. It will just find its way through the bulb, so don't worry about that. The only thing is to obviously look at it and see you have the bottom, and then you have the top, and you do want to have the top up when you're putting it down. So let's put in some soil. When it comes to the soil, really it's just multi-purpose. I'm not too fussed. It got to be pit free, of course, and as you can see, I've gotten a bit all in. I also have a little bit of a leftover from earlier this year, and I will just start from an end. One thing you do want to put in is some potting grit. You don't want to put too much in, but you do want to add some. And the reason for that is that obviously when we're laying down the bulbs and we're watering it, these are thick and they are natural materials. They can actually rot in, and when you're putting in a little bit of grit, it helps draining the soil so there's not moist and water around for too long. So I will just do a reasonable amount. There's no rule, but you know, put some in if you got access to it. So you can see I put in about 1/3 of the depth of the pot, and I'm now ready to fill in bulbs. The two bags I'm going to do first is these ones, and we're also going to take the beautiful red ones because they are definitely the chunkiest. I think they're about the same size, so let's just start with the deep red ones. Like that. And then remember that we're doing a reasonable spread between them. We've got to allow space, so see, you can pop one in there, and that's kind of, it's meant to be like that because they need that space. Also not too close to the edges. They like to have space around. Oh, this is going to be tight. It's going to be tight. I'll make it work, I'm sure. With a little bit of moving around, they'll be happy. I think this is really good. This is a little one. I'm not sure that's going to work. It looks a bit tired, so that looks dead. I'm going to take that one out. And just allow enough space. We rather have good ones than dead ones. And then that's it. We'll put some more soil on, which I've already put grit into, and continue. So I'm just putting a thin layer on top. So obviously think that same amount all the way around, so there's distance between them, but obviously there's also got to be a bit of distance on top for these bulbs. A little bit more. So these is the beautiful pink ones, also quite chunky. And we are ready to do the next layer of soil with grit. I'm always so curious to know what you guys think. Do you have a favorite color scheme? Do you have some certain bulbs you always go for? Or are you just looking for inspiration when you go out shopping and you pick whatever you see? Let me know your approach in the comments. I'd really love to know about it. So the next layer is definitely going to be these ones, which is the late bloomers. And remember, this has to go into several pots, and there are only 5, so I might even break them up and not take all of them. I think I might make this into 2 pots, so I will just take, 3 of these. I think it's plenty, like that. And they can probably go just about with these, because it doesn't matter, we can still mix them in the layer. So 3, so that should be good. And then we'll do one more layer of soil, and then we'll do the little ones, and that's it. For our last layer, we'll do the little crocus, which is super cute, and we also have these ones, so we'll put them side by side because they got to stretch over 3 pots as well. So we're covering up our tiny little baby bulbs with the last soil. So that really is how easy it is to make a bulb lasagna. And the fantastic thing is that it comes year after year. Now, a couple of notes here towards the end. In terms of pots, just like clay pavers, I don't like a circus of colors. I really value these basic terracotta pots, and they just age beautifully. This one does need a clean, but I'll do that come spring. In terms of the bulbs, I would, if you can, cover them with some chicken wire or something, just because birds and squirrels and that kind of thing, they love digging into them and eating your bulbs, and obviously you don't want that. If you follow the beginning of this video, have a tiny little 167 by 167 light well garden, so I will take my pots and put them out there for the winter season, and come spring, once they start sprouting, then I'll take them out. But till then, till they're a bit more safe, then I'll just keep them there and make sure the soil is well drained, and keep an eye on the soil. You don't want them drying out completely over winter, because obviously they're bulbs and they need some, but also you don't want them soaking wet. As I said, that's why we're having the grit in it. So make sure they're well drained, they're moist, but they're not drowning in water, because then you'll end up having rotten bulbs. And then yeah, it's just about waiting, and it'll be so exciting when you start seeing this coming into fruition really early next year, so as soon as February. Another 2 to go, and then I am ready for spring. If you like this video, make sure you like and subscribe. I genuinely appreciate the encouragement from you guys. It's what motivates me to get going. And if you want more videos like this one, make sure you check out this video coming up over here, where I'll take you around the living room where you're currently staying in the camera, and show you my approach for how to create a Victorian look and feel in a London townhouse. Take care till then, and I will see you there.